Entitled kid steals my work and presents it as her own, forgetting that I have years' worth of evidence. In secondary school, I started making the groundwork for a book I want to publish someday. Next May, it'll officially be 6 years in the making, so I have put a lot of time into it. Tolkien spent 13 years working with barely 5 races and a single continent, while I'm not just working with multiple continents, but at least 18 separate realms, each with their own calendars, seasons, how gravity works, around 7 different magic systems, over 100 separate races, thousands of relevant animals, history regarding the races, and stuff like that. Not to mention biomes, original biomes, planet size, solar system shape, constellations. Basically, I've put a lot of work into this. Every now and again, I show this off to my friends or my teachers so they can either help me, give critical feedback, or things along those lines. The teacher, who I'll call Nice Teacher, NT, has been a real help regarding grammar and so on. I know that no author is perfect, and that's what editors are for, but I want to be proud of my work, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist. To make sure I don't accidentally screw up my Word documents, I have everything saved on 2 pen drives. One is 50 gig and the other is 14 gig. The 50 gig is never to leave the house, so I use the 14 gig as a sort of transporter to other computers to do work on it. Now that's been explained, time to talk about the swollen backside sponge that is EK. She too is an aspiring writer, but unlike myself, she is aiming towards doing another Twilight or Hunger Games. I let her know that if she did her own thing, she wouldn't be drowned in the copies upon copies of the same story, but with different people. The writing business is cutthroat and vicious, and by standing out, the audience is more likely to notice your work than Twilight 99.88876. EK appeared to have taken this advice well, but as I have all the social graces of a broken chair, I must have missed something because she didn't really want to talk to me after that. Around that time, there was a sudden rumor sprung from the gutters that I was a plagiarist and that I was homophobic. Being the daughter of a lesbian, I don't really see the logic of that, but I ignored it. I had better things to do with my time. One Tuesday or a Monday, I was with NC, who was helping me regarding why specific races lived in specific countries. I won't go into detail because we'll be here all millennia, but I made some good progress. I automatically sent it to myself via email because I'm extremely paranoid about losing work, and yet I somehow forgot my drive. It wasn't the first time I'd done this, hence why I have 2 of them, and the 50 gig never leaves the house. Best to lose only a day's work than over a year's worth. I was saddened that I had lost it, but it never occurred to me that someone would use that work. I had to ask my mom for money to get a new one because I'm broke, and it was 16 gig. Not much difference, but it suited its purpose. When I told EK about this while we were in the same class, she gave sympathy and then started talking about the book she wanted to make. She had some fun ideas, not gonna lie, but she didn't have any evidence of such work. I told her to write it all down, but she said that she had gotten a new flash drive, can never remember their names, and it would be fine. I never connected the dots, so I gave a little bit of praise over it. She then started talking about a competition surrounding concepts or whatever that was coming up, and it sounded good, so I thought about entering along with her. I wrote a short story about a folk tale or campfire story that'd be in my book at some point for some fun and entered. I didn't expect to win, I was just there for some fun. EK, obviously, entered as well. When everyone gathered in the assembly to hear the winners and what work they provided that lead to such a victory, I was curious. I was sitting on my own because the rumors about me being a plagiarist and homophobe were still going around for whatever reason. One kid even telling me to leave out of fear I'd steal their work. That kid entered a dystopia about Peppa Pig, so I'm not sure what I was supposed to steal. And when it was announced that EK had won, I was congratulatory despite not winning. A sore loser isn't going to get far in life, after all. But when she proudly read out what she had written, my heart froze. She read out a very short draft I'd made about one of my characters and how they felt after their species just got out of civil war and how tense it was. It was unmistakable. The country's name, the character's name, the species' name, the mentioning of certain locations, I was horrified. Finally, the Lego pieces clicked. This embodiment of a downside secretion bacterial infection had my missing drive. I was so angry that I left and proceeded to have a crying fit in the bathroom because of what EK had changed about it. The character mentioned had gone from a hardened war hero to an edgy teen in love with the character who started the bloody war in the first place, which had ended the lives of millions for her own selfish gain. It felt like my baby had been mutilated. I confronted EK about what she had done and wanted to know why she'd done such a thing, but she pretended ignorance and went to the principal, P, of our bloody school to complain that I was stealing her work. I was called to P's office along with my mom and the mom of EK, who was an entitled mound of dog feces. Because my memory is rather poor, I can't fully say what was said, but I'm sure most of you are familiar with it. The EM went into a rant about how evil I was, how her daughter was so perfect her feces didn't smell, and so on. She reached full Mr. Reddit screeching until P threatened to make her sit outside to shut her up. P wouldn't expel either of us as she wanted, but she wanted this to be done with as she takes plagiarism very seriously. She asked EK first about the situation, and she painted me as some kind of neo-Nazi while throwing in a homophobic slur here and there with her mom is grinning like she has no cheeks. My mom, of course, was horrified at such language being used so casually. He was obviously annoyed with it herself. She turned to me and asked my side, and I said that EK was filled with more crap than Minor. I, admittedly, fell into the rabbit hole of rants about how angry I was that a character I had worked hard to build had been butchered so horribly to fulfill the fantasy of a nobody. EM got furious that I would dare insinuate that her daughter lied. Then my mom got mad that she was yelling at me, and EK got mad at me for making her mom mad, and I returned the favor. He had to bang a book on the desk to get us all to shut up like she were a judge, and she turned to me and said that I needed proof of my claims. What EK didn't know was that I was prepared to break a golden rule of mine for the purpose of this meeting. I brought in dear Mr. 50 gig. I had it inside my wallet that was chained to my pants so it couldn't be stolen, and put it in front of P. I turned to EK and told her, politely, to suck on my breasticles, my way of saying books. At that moment, T walked in to give the P some photocopied sheets of something, and I took by chance. I asked her what we had done a few days ago, and she said she was helping me with name of the country that EK claimed was hers. I asked her the name of the hero of the war in that country, and she said the name EK claimed as hers. I asked her who started the war, and she confusedly said the name EK had twisted into being a love interest. In the meantime, he was looking at what I had done on the computer and concluded that it was EK who stole, not me. EM proceeded to throw a massive fit, grabbing P's computer and smashing it. I nearly died at the thought of 50 gig being destroyed, but it was okay. This got her kicked out of the room and banned from the school, along with a fine for the destroyed property. EK was mad that I had caught her. She yelled at P for siding with a homophobe. My mom pointed out that she was a lesbian, so that point kind of lost any meaning. I then figured out that she was the one who was spreading these things about me, likely was a way to project her guilt to make her feel better. He wasn't having any of it and banned her from entering competitions along with giving back my drive. She responded by dropping it in a cup of water, and I was glad as it destroyed all of the damaged art I'd made. She didn't get more of a comeuppance than that, and the rumors remained until college. I saw her there and felt it right for me to rant. Have a safe year, people. TLDR. Girl steals my work, claims I stole it, gets the No You Uno card.
Story 2. You stole this car because my son can't afford one. Hello everybody. The title is kinda TLDR. So I've been scrolling throughout this sub for quite a time wondering if any of the stories here are actually true. And then today happened. First of all, I drive a red 2005 BMW 3 Series. Nothing too fancy, but I really like my car, and I'm kind of proud of it because I'm only 22, looking a lot younger, relevant for the story, and bought it with my own money. Why do I tell you that? Well, flexing, of course. And it's the central point of the story that happened to me today. Sorry for any mistakes, I'm German, so English isn't my first language. Well, enough preamble, let's go. The cast of my story. EM is entitled Mom. ES is embarrassed son. FC is friendly cop. Me as well, have a wild guess. So this happened today at my local Burger King. I live in a small village and we don't have a Burger King, so I have to drive to the next town if I want to eat there. This afternoon I felt like going there, so I hopped in the car and got onto the Autobahn. A couple of minutes later I leave the Autobahn and enter the parking lot of said Burger King. I leave my car, walk into the store and place my order. After a short while I get my food and leave the shop. I take the car key out of my pocket, walk towards my car and press the unlock button. While I open the door and put my bag behind the driver's seat, EM enters the scene. As I put the seat back into normal position to get ready to leave, she suddenly shows up behind me. EM, that's not your car. Who did you steal it from? Me. I'm sorry, ma'am. How can I help you? EM, that car does not belong to you. Who did you steal it from? Tell me so I can tell the police. Me. Ma'am, this car is mine. I bought it myself with the money I earned at my job. EM, you're lying. You aren't old enough to have a job where you get paid well enough to own a car like this. Actually, I don't even think you're old enough to drive a car. Me. Ma'am, I own this car and I'm 22. I have had my license for more than 4 years now, so I'm very much allowed to drive a car. Ing, nu yu waringti. You look like you're 16. I will call the cops on you. Me, fine. Do it. They can come over and check. I own this car and I have a license. I got my license, saved my money, and bought the car when I had enough. I worked hard for it. EM? No, you haven't. Nobody your age has enough money for a car like this. My son is 18, so he's older than you are. He has been working at this store. She points at the Burger King where I ordered my food. After school since he is 16, and he hasn't got enough money to buy such a car. Why should you have it when you're younger than him? Me? Listen, lady. I've worked in IT since I was 18. I'm a trained IT specialist and I work about 40 hours per week. I don't want to sound rude, but I think I earn a little more money than someone who works part-time at a fast food place. EM. If you work 40 hours per week, then why are you here in the middle of the day? Me, getting a little bit angry, because I have vacations for Christ's sake. And I'm hungry, so I took my car to get some food. EM, this isn't your car. Stop lying. I bet you're an unemployed dropout who stole someone's fancy car, and now you're here to pose with it. I'm calling the cops right now. EM takes her phone out of her purse and starts to call the police. After she starts the call, ES leaves the store through the front door and looks at me, standing in my open car door, and his mom, talking on the phone. ES, excuse me, that's my mom right there. Is everything all right? Is she calling someone for you? Me, still angry AF. Not to be rude, but is it possible that your mom is a little out of her mind? She kept accusing me of stealing my car, and now she calls the police. EM, I'm not dumb, you little duck. Watch your language. ES, looking at me, I'm sorry. She can be a little difficult sometimes. Looking at his mom. Thanks for picking me up, Mom. Let's go. Ing, nu. We will wait for the police to arrive here. ES, very calm. Mom, please, relax. Let's just go home. I'm sure he owns this car and just wants to go home too. No way. We will wait until the police gets here to arrest this thief. ES, looking at me. I'm sorry. Me, it's all right. It's not your fault. Let's just wait until the police arrive, so your mom sees that I own this car. Fast forward a couple minutes, a police car arrives in the parking lot. 2 policemen leave the car, look around a little, and walk towards the 3 of us. FC, hello. Did any of you report a car theft? EM, yes, I did. It's this boy right here. Arrest him. Officer. Me, lady, I already told you. I own this car. FC, to EM. Why do you think that he stole this car? EM, he's way too young to even be allowed to drive a car. He can't own a car like this. FC, to me, I'm sorry, sir, but can you show me your license and your car documents? Me, sure, wait a minute, I'll get them. I proceed to walk around the car to get my car documents out of the glove box. EM grabs me shouting, "Officer, do something. He is clearly trying to run away." FC, ma'am, let him go. He is getting the documents I asked for. M, no he isn't. He is clearly trying to avoid charges for car theft. FC, let him go, ma'am. EM lets go of me. I walk to the other side of my car, open the glove box and hand the documents over to FC. I take out my wallet and hand over my license to. FC checks them and says, "Everything is all right here. Why did you call us?" EM, no, the car is stolen. My son is older than him and can't afford a car, so this car is stolen. FC, look, it's right here in these documents. The car belongs to Playmore 96. That name is also on his driver's license, so this car belongs to the young man. EM, I don't care. The documents and the license are fake. Just do your job and arrest him, officer. FC, look man, I will ask my partner to run his license plate through the database if that calms you. Okay? M, yes, do it. You will see. This car is stolen. The other cop walks over to the car and looks up my license plate. A couple of minutes later, he comes over and says, "I looked up the license plate. The car is registered on Playmore 96, so it's his car." M, no, he stole this car. She walks over to me, trying to take my car key. Me, what are you doing? What the hell is wrong with you, lady? EM, it's not your goddamn car. Give the key to me. I will find the real owner and give him his car back. FC, ma'am, please stop this or we have to arrest you. M, you don't have to arrest me. I didn't steal this car. Why don't you do your goddamn job instead of being ducking useless, officer? Arrest this boy. FC, ma'am, I have to ask you to calm down. Step away from Playmore 96 or we'll have to arrest you. ES, very calm. Come on, mom. It's his car. He said it. The cops said it. Calm down and let's go home. Please, mom. EM stops trying to steal my key and looks at her son. All right, honey. If you want to leave now, we leave. While walking towards her car, she shouts at me, "I will get that car back to its owner, you little prick. I swear to God I will." At FC, you are ducking useless, officer. Go back to your office to drink coffee or whatever. I hope you get fired because you aren't doing your job properly. EM and ES then proceed to enter their car and drive away. FC hands over my license and car documents. "Sorry to bother you. Do you want to press charges against EM?" Me, no, it's all right. I'm sorry you had to come out here to take care of this dumb situation. FC, that's okay. This isn't even anywhere near the worst situation I experienced this week. Have a nice day. Me, thanks, you too. FC, thanks. The cops get back to their car, enter it, and leave. I finally get into my car too, and leave the parking lot to drive home. Now I'm sitting here, eating a cold chili cheeseburger and writing down this story. Knowing that EM's son works at this Burger King, I guess I'll never go there again. I don't want to spend half another afternoon arguing with EM and waiting for the cops. TLDR, EM says I stole my car because her son, who is younger than me, doesn't own a car. She proceeds to call the cops. They tell her it's my car and everything is all right, so she tries to steal my key. Her son calms her down, so they leave after she swore that she will get my car back to its original owner. Edit. I've corrected all the mistakes you guys found so far, so keep it coming. As I mentioned, I might go there again using my parents' car to see what would happen if I meet Karen there again. I would love to know what worst situation the cop has seen, but you never know. It isn't a very big town like Berlin or München, but it's got some problems too. Partly with clans fighting each other, partly with illegal street races, etc. My wild guess would be that it had something to do with one of those things. Edit number 2. Yes, Burger King in Germany has chili cheeseburgers. Also chili cheese fries and nuggets. Since those products have been very successful for Burger King, McDonald's started selling burgers like that too. Although they aren't even half as good as the original one from Burger King. I'm very sorry for you guys that you don't have them in the US. Edit number 3. Alright guys. I'll press charges if I ever meet that Karen again. Everything I thought in that situation was that I can finally go home now, so I didn't feel like staying there for more time than I already spent there. Edit number 4. This is getting out of hand. Thanks a lot for the silver. It's my first. Comments. One guy wrote, that officer do something, he is clearly trying to run away is everything. I mean, OP wanted to run, he wouldn't wait for the officer in the first place, lol. So this is the end of this video. So what do you guys think? Did the OP in the first story did the right thing, or should have done something different? And should the OP from the second story have press charges against the entitled mother? Share your thoughts or suggestions down below in the comments section. And if you enjoyed this story, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. It's free for you guys, and it really helps us to keep delivering you guys the videos continuously. You guys can also support us by checking out the links in the video description in the channel's About section. In the meantime, you can watch these videos. Goodbye.